Hey guys, Waifugate here. So today we're going to be doing another deck guide. This time it's over an Ali Eldrazi list, a spicy old list. Goodie but an oldie, all right? This list is set up for best of one historic, and it's like a control combo deck like most of Ali's decks are. So today we're going to be going over gameplay for the list, and if you want the gameplay, you just want to jump into the game, see how it works, and export the list as well. The exportable list is down below, as well as a timestamp for the gameplay, so you can click that and see how the deck functions right off the back, if that's what you're interested in. Now everything else in the list will be covered here. It'll be how the deck functions, budget options, and good and bad matchups as well as we can. Now the ban and limitation list is being updated tomorrow, so a lot of that might change. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that section because it might not be relevant. All right. So let's just jump into how the deck functions, what you're looking for your opening hand and such. So early game, you want to develop Thoughtseize and Maze Mines and Mind Stones. These are your most important cards to see in your hand for mulliganing. Are just these low drop cards, as well as like Gideon and maybe a sweeper. So like any type of sweeper, because aggro is pretty popular in best of one. So Wrath, Clarion, etc. Any of that plus a combination of these cards is a good hand. You don't want your Masterminds or your Lich's Mastery in your opening hand or approach, because they're very clunky, and if they get Thoughtseize, that hurts us a lot. Okay, so that's your mulligan strategy. Now, how does the deck work? We just talked about interrupting your opponent with Thoughtseize, developing your lands and stuff with this. If you need to find lands, you can grab them with this with Scrying. If you are getting flooded, you can put the lands on bottom. Pretty simple. This ramps us. Awesome. Good. And it also draws us a card late game. The card's perfect for the deck. Gideon, the 0 emblem here is the most important part of this. As long as you control Gideon's Planeswalker, you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. So we can cast Pact of Negation with no penalty without having to pay the mana cost. So we can protect our win cons as we develop them. We can board wipe and hold back a counter spell for a questing beast, etc. It's just a really flexible card to have. Okay. And then we've got Chance for Glory, which says creatures you control gain indestructible. Take an extra turn after this one. At the beginning of the next turn's end step, you lose the game, but you don't if you have Gideon or Lich's Mastery. You can't lose the game. Boom. You see the synergy here. It's really nice. The top end's crazy. So how do we win the game? Well, usually by wrathing, etc., stalling the game out, and then we either approach or we can grab a win con with Mastermind here. Lots of options. It's really hard to lose with this deck if you get going. It's a very powerful list. Cards, so that's pretty much how the deck functions. You just kind of get going. We'll jump into the gameplay here in a second, but I quickly want to go over like budget options, because I feel like budget is very important. So Pact is a really hard card to cut because it's so powerful in protecting our win cons. I feel like there's not really a good budget option for this since we don't have any other ways of countering spells. If you ended up pulling like, what's it called? Glorious. How do you spell Glorious? Yeah, Glorious End. End the turn at the beginning of your next end step, you lose the game. This can be used as a counter spell. So if you have more mythic wild cards lying around, compared to Pact of Negation, this can be an okay option. But this does cost 3 mana, it doesn't cost 0, so that's the biggest difference. But if you pulled this from your Amonkhet packs, this could be a very good option, okay? Like, it's not bad. It might also be better than Chance for Glory in the deck overall, but if we're talking about budget options, you might have this from Standard, etc. So this is just a different option for a pack. There's not really a replacement. Maybe trim a copy or two and try to fill in like Maze Mines or something else. Originally, this is already kind of a budgeted list. Instead of Phyrexian Arenas, I'm using Maze Mine Tome, which is easier to cast. Because you think about it, double black, one colorless, and then we want double red for a sweeper. Double black's a lot to ask for, so this is a lot easier on the mana base to start developing your, your hands and such. It comes out one turn earlier as well, making your keeps a little bit easier. So I think that this might be better than Phyrexian Arena anyway in most cases. Thoughtseize, you could replace this with Duress or Agonizing Remorse, either one. The 1 mana is pretty important, but we have Mind Stone for colorless mana, so Remorse is probably a good substitution, but this is one of the best cards in Historic right now. So, it's a pretty safe craft, I would say. So if I were gonna skimp on something, it probably wouldn't be this. Gideon's pretty required. You could go down to 3, but I wouldn't go any lower than that. The deck won't function without him because he doubles up as a win con. Anger could very easily just be Clarions. If you have 4 Clarions, just drop these, add Clarions, GG. It's easy. Not really a replacement for this aside from Glorious End, and this is more expensive especially if you already have these crafted, so... Shatter the Sky does the same thing. It might let you the opponent draw a card, but that's about it. It's just really easy to run Shatters here instead. I would craft Wraths last. I would craft Pact of Negation before Wrath, for example. Mastermind, not really a replacement for this. You could do like Fae of Wishes or something, but it wouldn't quite be the same if you have Fae from Standard. But it could work, you know, like it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Just kit your sideboard out to be no creatures, etc. Most of this is pretty much non-creatures anyway. Like, aside from Zakama for the memes, you can pretty much just use Fae of Wishes, and it's basically the same thing. Oh, wait, we don't have any blue mana, just kidding. So yeah, Masterminds is pretty required, I guess. Maybe Karn. Do Karn Great Creator if you have that from Standard, but that would change the sideboard drastically, and it wouldn't quite be the same. It could work, though. Like, it's just not my favorite option. This is also really good because it can search your library for the win con, so you could search for your approach again. You know, so like Mastermind's pretty good, and as a 2-of, it's not that high on the budget. No replacement for this. It's part of the deck, it's part of the Gideon emblem type thing, so you can't lose the game. And then approach is, you know, you need this to win, so 2 copies is pretty much there. You can skimp on the lands a little bit, but I would pretty much keep most of this here. Cascading allows us to use blue mana for Pact as well, if we have to do it that way, and from the sideboard for Conjecture. That's kind of required. But yeah, so that's pretty much how the deck functions. You just win with approach, you win with whatever you need to. And then we went over budget options. I would say that right now in the meta, it's not positioned the best, but it's really fun. So if the fun factor matters more to you than the raw win rate, I would say this is a good fit. Like, it gives you some intricacies on your plays and stuff. You get to really feel good when you find the right line to avoid dying, and then somehow making it that huge comeback. This is a really good deck for that particular feeling. And then you've got good matchups, bad matchups. I say goblins are like pretty rough, but if we see Clarions and stuff, it's pretty good. And if you want to tweak this to go a little bit better about goblins, you can go up to 4 Clarions total, like 4 Clarion effects total. So just increase this number by 1. And against Jund Food, we do pretty okay since we can shut off a lot of their game plan here and there, and we can usually combo off and make it so they can't kill us. Just with our emblems and stuff. You just have to take care of that Mayhem Devil ASAP. Just Clarion the Mayhem Devil, etc. As long as you can do that and protect Gideon, you're pretty good. They usually only have 1 or 2 creatures that want to swing at you, so you can very easily like +1 the Gideon. That's really important. You'll see that in the gameplay too. Coming up is just +1 in Gideon to prevent them from really doing anything. Really does a number on them. What else? Field of the Dead we do pretty well against. I'd say it's probably one of our better matchups just because we have a really good sideboard for it with Masterminds. And we have so many Wrath effects main that it's really hard for them to keep up. Like, you know, their array of creatures, like the army of zombies. You just keep wiping them out here and there, and then you eventually get Plague from the sideboard and keep up a Pact of Negation for Eugene and Thoughtseize Eugene from their hand, because that's the most important card. Early game you can Thoughtseize Hour of Devastation to slow them down a lot, but Eugene's usually the threat because it exiles everything that we love. So taking care of that's pretty important. What else? What else is popular in Historic? Like elves, that type of aggro we do pretty well against, especially if they can't refill their hand. Golgari Citadel I think is more dangerous than Jund Food, honestly, because they just are really explosive, and they have really good consistency with land drops because of Explore creatures, and Collected Company is a heck of a good card, so they're able to accelerate into that pretty fast. I would probably say like the worst matchup, the matchups that are the worst are like any type of flash deck, and like counterspell decks, like just you white, I counter everything, that type of thing hurts us a lot. Those are the 2 worst matchups. So yeah, with that being said, let's jump into the gameplay so you guys can see how the list works. Pretty sweet name. This looks fine. I'm turning off emotes before I get tilted. I turn those on for viewer games and then I forget to turn them off. Ooh. Yeah, black with elves now for Thoughtseize is pretty sweet. I like the idea of that. So we have Anger and Wrath, which is super great against aggro lists. Yeah, you can only have black mana if you crack that elf. You sack that elf. They can't have Collective Company yet. They can't have Coco. So I just Mind Stone here because it's my only play. What's the deck list? It's Ollie's list. Wait, they can have Coco. Oh, I see. Well, that's something. They can do it again, too. They have no green mana. I can just anger, right? So yeah, they do this and that's fine. Yeah, that way they don't have to exile. Skip phase now. Okay. So I can +1 the Gideon here, right? And just develop it. Gideon's so good, man. And then we get to develop Mind Stone as well. Feels pretty good, man. Sitting on 2 Wraths. Sad because we didn't actually get to exile anything here, so they can just play out the Woest Rider again. Yeah, Golgari Elves now is pretty okay-ish, especially with Collected Company allowing you to refill your board at instant speed. Like, being able to do that in response to a board wipe to keep up pressure is pretty insane. I'd say that it's pretty decent. They can sack that for 2 black. Maybe develop Priest, Collected Company, okay. Nice. So now we just board wipe. And then we can Emblem. Oh, nice. Oh, they're just gonna develop more onto the table. Oof, this is hurting though. Yep. So I just zero this thing right here. Plus Gideon on the 0/1. Oh, no. It prevents damage. It doesn't prevent life loss though, right? It's not damage. So it's different, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. So they just get to control their draws really well. They're probably just looking for a land or something here. Maybe looking for a Coco to go off. Just want to get whatever they do have in their hand. Oof, Mayhem Double. Okay. Well, we got one out of their hand. That's cool. Woe Strider, all right. Okay. So I could chance for glory here. Yeah, I can go into negative life. Just trying to think of the best way to do this. Like, how can I go off, you know, type of deal? If there's any way to. I can always chance at the end of their turn anyway, right? So they can go, they can't go, well, they can sack, they can do Phyrexian Tower and then sack. And then get Woe Strider out. That doesn't do anything though. Like, I can just chance for glory at the end of their turn and try to do something. Like, I can just kind of chill. I don't even know if I need to though. Probably not. Just Wrath and chill, yeah. Yeah, maybe use these, you mean? Not the tomes, but the Mind Stones to crack and draw. I kind of want to be able to cast Approach or something, or Maze Mind. I don't really want to give up my ramp quite yet. I can still chance for glory end of turn too, but I don't know if that's super worth. I don't think they're topping anything yet, right? Oh, they just did. I mean, this Woe Strider does nothing. If it's just one Woe Strider, I can plus it, and that's a free turn. That's the same as casting Chance for Glory. Regenerated? It's an old keyword that doesn't exist anymore, basically. And now I can just Clarion the, I can just Clarion the Mayhem Devil. This is hilarious. Why didn't I attack with Gideon to save it from Mayhem Pings? Yeah, I know I can pop the stones. I just want to be able to cast Approach if the opportunity presents itself to. I'm consciously aware that I can pop these. See, like, now they can use Phyrexian Tower to ping down if they have another creature to sack, etc., you know? So I'm just keeping Gideon healthy, because as long as he's up, we win the game. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Yeah, I'm gonna draw with at least one of the stones after this. I'm gonna Clarion here. Yep. So they sack 2, they ping Gideon by 2. See, this is why we're plussing Gideon. So that he can stay healthy. Because even like 4 damage doesn't win us the game. Keeping him alive does. Because they literally can't do anything. They're playing like 1 threat a turn right now. And they don't have much gas. So I'm looking for like Pact of Negation, stuff like that. To be able to counter like Citadel. Now I can play a stone, draw stone, and that perfectly curves me out. +1 Gideon on this so it can't pressure me. I can crack one of the stones EOT. Answer with chance for glory. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. So that's their last Woe Strider proc too. So if we end up getting another Wrath, like we're pretty good at this point. Yep. Gideon OP. Gideon strong. Yeah. Now what are you gonna do? No, he's saying if it's at the end of my turn, I can take an extra turn at the end of my own turn. It's not because it ends the stack. That's not their point. I think I just stack Chance for Glories at the end of their turn. I don't know. It's a little weird. Like I can tap down one of these guys. I could also just Chance for Glory twice right now. And then try to get up above this. Try to get some answers going. Thoughtseize now. Do what they have, okay. Good. They had Coco. If they just swing at... Oh, if they can't just swing at me, they have to swing at Gideon, right? So I could just +1 here then, and chill. Because then they have to swing 5 at Gideon, and then I can just Chance for Glory twice end of their turn and go off a bit. That seems worth. Since they don't have any procs for like Mayhem Devil or anything anyway, like it seems fine. Like they have to play out the Mayhem Devil before anything else happens, really. So. That's my graveyard. Yo, what's up? Yeah, that's my Wrath. You like that? You like that Wrath? Look at it more. Play your Overgrown Tomb. Don't play Mayhem Devil. I'm dead. Well, not dead, but very sad. I'm gonna try to get a Pact of Negation off the top here with Mindstone. One time off the top. Heart of the Cards. One time. Yikes, that's not it. That ain't it, Chief. Okay. No, I can't Chance. In response, still kill Gideon. Why would I do that? Like, now that we know our draw, it's fine, but... Okay. Woo! What's that mean? What do I get with this? Woo! That means I win, I think. But I don't know what to do. Get Wrath. Or, yeah, just Wrath. With Star X? Oops. Yeah, I don't think you can ever block that kid. I could play another Gideon, but I don't think it matters. Oh.
Let's do this one-on-one.
You have Mayhem Double again? Okay, that's fine. Care about that. Wow. I'm getting out of range today. Do 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 do. Yeah, this deck's beautiful, dude. Do 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 do. I win, yeah. I had two of them in my hand. Do 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 do. That was my new hit single. I had two of them in my hand. So hopefully that portrayed how the deck functions, how the gameplay looks against one of the meta decks. You know, Jun Food is pretty popular. I usually do 2 to 3 of these deck guides a week, if not more. So there'll be an end panel in a second. You click on my face and it'll subscribe you. Really helps the channel and you'll be notified when new decks come up. And we also have a next video button so you can check out some more content. And if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And I'll try to respond to them as soon as I can. So really appreciate you guys, and I will see you for the next video.